In 1943, a 17-year-old boy in rural Sweden used a graduation gift to start a mail-order business from his uncle's kitchen table. 80 years later, that business became the largest furniture retailer on earth, selling 9 million meatballs a day in 60 countries. But if you tried to find out who actually owns that company today, you'd hit a wall built by lawyers on purpose. This is the story of Ingvar Kamprad and the empire he built to disappear. Kamprad grew up in Småland, a region so poor and rocky that locals became famous for extreme thrift, saving even a single bent nail. By age 5, he was buying matches in bulk from Stockholm and reselling them to neighbors, box by box, at a profit. In 1943, he named his new company using his own initials, plus the farm and village where he grew up. Ingvar Kamprad Elmatari Agunarid. 4 words. One name the whole world would learn to say. IKEA. For years, IKEA sold everything except furniture. Pens, wallets, watches, nylon stockings, all through a simple mail-order catalog. Furniture only entered the catalog in 1948, almost as an afterthought, before it became the entire business. In 1956, an employee tried to fit an assembled table into his car, and it simply would not fit. So he removed the legs, and someone in the room asked a simple question. What if we just sold it like that? Flat-pack furniture quietly moved the final step of manufacturing, the assembly, from a paid factory worker onto the customer, for free. That single shift cut shipping costs, cut labor costs, and let IKEA sell at prices competitors structurally could not match. By the 1970s, Kamprad was running a logistics company that happened to sell furniture, expanding across Europe, store by store. Here is where the story stops being about furniture. In 1982, at the height of its growth, everything changed. Kamprad restructured the company, not by selling it, but by giving it to a foundation registered in the Netherlands. On paper, this looked like generosity, a charity even richer than the Gates Foundation, built to fund architecture and design. But that foundation never actually owned the brand itself. A separate company in Luxembourg owned the name IKEA entirely. Every single store on earth pays a mandatory royalty fee just to license the right to be called IKEA. That royalty flowed quietly through Luxembourg and Liechtenstein, 2 of the friendliest tax jurisdictions on the planet, to the family. A European Parliament investigation estimated this structure may have avoided roughly €1 billion in taxes in just 6 years. And yet, Kamprad himself drove an old Volvo for 2 decades, flew economy class, and haggled prices at flea markets. In 1994, newspapers revealed his youth involvement in a fascist movement, a mistake he later called the greatest of his life. He died in 2018, one of the least visible billionaires alive. His real ownership stake, never fully traceable on paper. There are 2 IKEAs. One sells cheap meatballs on a Saturday. The other proved a company's most valuable asset is never quite being owned by anyone at all.